I'm still here. So, uh, so why is it important? I thought I would just go over it. So, अगर I'll try to do some Hindi and English, so bear with me if it falls between two stools and neither is getting the benefit. But yeah, तो अगर हम ये वर्ल्ड मैप देखें तो आपको पता चल रहा है यहाँ कि अलग अलग कलर है. जो रेड कलर में है इन देशों में ज़्यादा एचडी का प्रेवलेंस है, जो पिंक है वहाँ कम है, और जो येलोइश है उसमें बहुत ही ज़्यादा कम है. अब हमारे देश में एग्जैक्टली कितने एचडी पेशेंट है किसी को अभी पता नहीं है. हमारे अंदाज से लगता है कि शायद जो यूरोप में है वही प्रेवलेंस शायद हमारे पास भी होगा. तो हाउ इज why is it that particular parts of the world are having a higher prevalence of HD? So if you look at the genetic structure and look at the DNA sequence around the Huntington's gene, you may get some clues. So people have looked at and seen what is the actual normal repeat size that you see in the general population. And another thing they've looked at is to look at the actual detailed sequence. So we also did that in our lab, and we found that if you can see these pie charts, these are all largely red, the regions where you have very high prevalence of HD. In China and Japan, for some reason, they have much lower prevalence, and they do have a different DNA sequence around the HD gene. So when we sequenced our patients, we found that we had a combination of red and this yellow, and we also had our own different DNA sequence. So in our so this experiment is telling us that yes, it is quite prevalent, most likely. So this was a recent publication we had where we had a PhD student, who, Dr. Nikhil Ratna, which many of you patients may be familiar with. He saw a large number of HD patients and documented the journeys of all those patients in terms of clinical parameters, because it's very important to document what an Indian Huntington patient looks like. Is it the same as in Europe, or is there any difference? So this paper actually described all that. And in our lab, we have given about 500 positive reports actually over the past 10 years. We saw another report from Bombay where they also had reported 500 cases. I spoke to other centers like AIIMS and CCMB, and they also said they have several hundred HD patients. You must remember that when you test one HD patient, it probably means that there are other 2 or 3 people at risk or symptomatic. क्योंकि अगर एक पेशेंट है, उनके माँ बाप होंगे, उनके बच्चे होंगे, उनके भाई बहन होंगे, उनको भी बीमारी हो सकती है. तो it was very important to find out really कितने लोग हैं. So what is happening in the world? So in North America, Latin America, Australia, etc., lot of efforts have been put in to actually document and keep track of how many patients there are. Enroll HD is something which most people who are associated with HD are aware about. So they have sites in more than 20 countries, and these are important because if you know how many patients there are, where they are, and what is their clinical description, it becomes easier for drug companies who want to carry out a trial, let's say, because then they know that, okay, these people have this kind of a symptomatology and they can try something. So it's also useful for awareness campaigns and for identification of treatment and disease outcomes. तो we decided कि इंडिया में इसकी बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि कोई नहीं जानता कितने पेशेंट है, वो कहाँ रह रहे हैं, उनको क्या ट्रीटमेंट मिल रहा है, उनको क्या सिम्टम्स है, किसी को पता नहीं. तो इसलिए हमने सोचा कि एक इंडिया में एक रजिस्ट्री होना बहुत ज़रूरी है जहाँ हम हर पेशेंट के डिटेल्स को डालते रहेंगे. सो दिस विल फैसिलिटेट पेशेंट केयर. इट विल टेल अस व्हाट इज़ द सोशो इकोनॉमिक आउटकम्स यूनिक टू इंडिया. इट विल गिव अस epidemiological insights, and it will help potential enrollment in projects and trials. So it is important for policy makers to know that there are so many patients, because when we go to the government and say we want help for HD patients, the first question they ask us, okay, so how many patients are there? So we only have details for Karnataka because, or the surrounding states, because they are the ones who have come to NIMHANS for treatment. But we don't know about North India or Bombay or Gujarat. So we thought it's important to do this. So through HDSI and our lab, we got together and said, okay, this is something we need to do. And we decided to launch an HD registry for India. So what are we going to do? We are going to document HD cases, describe the prevalence and presentations, and we are also trying to ask questions around what was the experience of that individual in terms of employment or role in family duties or whatever it is, because that is finally a part of the life of the HD patient which needs to be documented. Only then people can be made aware of the problems faced by these families and what needs to be done to help them. So we take consent, and then Dr. Talika helped us to start this REDCap database. Some of you have probably been interviewed by her already on the phone. So we take details of name, the informant, date of birth, address, consent. So one of the main fears of joining the registry was about one is the stigma and the other is the fear that this information is going to be shared. So we have it on a secure REDCap database. So all this information is not going to be visible to anybody. It's going to be password protected and secure. So in addition to this, of course, we will do a very detailed online interview to find out what is the motor impediments the patient may have, behavioral, etc. It's not possible for all patients to come to NIMHANS, of course, so we have been trying to also do telephonic interviews to record whatever details are possible. Going forward, we want to also get other clinicians from other parts of India to work with us so that we will send them a sheet and they will fill up the details. So the whole aim is to get all HD patients enrolled into this HD registry. So these are again family history, of course the CAG repeat length. We will ask questions about, are you okay to participate in research? Are you okay if we call you repeatedly to find out how you're doing? If we call you every 6 months, is that okay? So we also have a poster here on the HD registry. And I request all of you to go and take a look at it and understand how it works. There are QR codes there which you can scan, and you can leave your phone number and we'll get back to you. Or you can even leave a message. So there was a question just now about the CAG repeat length and the progression of the illness. So here this is a nice chart which is basically what a person can do if you were to just categorize it as 1, 2, 3. So a person is fully functional and with time starts losing some skills, shall we say. So if you see here, if you have a repeat which is 39 or 41, then really you're quite functional for a good part of your life, and it's only very well towards the late end that things start going bad. So and so on. But what I want to also say is that there's a very broad range for each of these colors. So it's not a one-to-one that if you have this CAG repeat length, this is what's going to happen with you at this point in life. So it's very important that we all have a very positive outlook and try to see how best we can deal with this illness. And I think having a registry and having social networks where people can exchange information on how they took care of that patient in their house. Like Vikram said, it's probably the families who have more knowledge than the clinicians because they see the patient only for 5 minutes. But you have looked after the patient 24/7. So whatever is your experience, if you share that, it will be very useful for other people to implement so that they don't start from the beginning, try all the things you tried and then finally go forward. So these are 2 families that we came across. आपको दिख रहा है कि इतने सारे लोग affected है इस कुटुंब में, और इन्होंने क्या किया, उन्होंने अपने कज़न से शादी कर ली. to a well cousin married an ill cousin, because that was the only way they could solve the problem. यहाँ government से तो कोई support नहीं मिल रहा है, तो who will look after my cousin sister? I will marry her. So these are things that really need to be worried about and addressed. So these are again the same slide. This is a large contingent of girls. You've seen many of them running around trying to make this conference work as well. And anybody has any questions?